Good evening. I hope y'all are ready for this one. I got quite a bit of topics to go over today. I'm getting started at about 7 p.m., a little after 7, and it's been thunderstorming pretty bad today. It got really dark out and thundered and lightninged and poured down for quite a while. Got them Uber prices freaking soaring. So I haven't been outside too much today. It's kind of gross. It's so humid. It makes you feel like you're walking through a jar of honey or something. It's nasty. Got me feeling like I'm in Costa Rica during the rainy season. It always cracks me up to talk about nasty weather to Marylanders. I don't know if this is like strictly a Maryland thing, but without fail, every time I mention nasty weather when I'm making small talk with people, they'll say, well, that's Maryland for you. Stick around a couple days. You never know what's going to happen. And like, yeah, that's just how weather works, right? Like, it always cracks me up that they specifically say, that's Maryland. Now, I know I have kept y'all on the edge of your seats. I know everybody's dying to know what in the world happened with Donkey Kong. Well, folks, I am so pleased to announce that it has been completed. Yes. Nope. Sit down. It's okay. You don't have to stand up. Thank you. I know. We got all the relics, finished everything. I was so proud of us. And it did unlock a secret world, y'all. I was thrilled. Not only did it unlock a secret world like the last Donkey Kong I was used to playing, it unlocked 3 new levels. And guess what? I beat all 3. I beat one of them on my first try. I was so proud of myself. But unfortunately, once I did beat it, I was hoping something else exciting would happen, like even unlocking like a new power, like superpower or something, but no, that's not quite what happened. It actually just unlocks hard mode, where it said you can replay all the same levels, except you only have 1 heart and no help. Like no powers or no, you get like little buddies to take with you that can do certain things, and in hard mode, it doesn't allow you to do that. And so, I've moved on from Donkey Kong, kind of done with that. That does not sound like a good time. That sounds like a rage quit waiting to happen. So now I'm playing Mario Wonder. And I will let y'all know how that goes. I have played it before, but I didn't play like a full in-depth playthrough like I did with Donkey Kong. So this time I'm doing a deep dive. I'll let you know if anything crazy happens. I also would like to announce that with the help of my best friend in the world, Marissa, I have decided to name this podcast. And it is going to be called Can't Lee's Cooking, boy. Can't Lee's Cooking, okay? I love learning about cooking. I love learning in general, really. I love cooking and creating new recipes and trying different things out and going to new restaurants. And of course, I love to eat, child. My dad said once, that girl can eat like a horse, and it is true, okay? But I also thought that this was super fitting for the name of my podcast, because for all you non-Gen Zers or people that aren't chronically online, let me fill you in. So cooking, cooked, they all have kind of different meanings now, okay? It's kind of some slang that's thrown around more commonly these days. So, obviously, we all know what, like, actually literal cooking is. But if you say, they're cooked, that's really not a good thing. It means that they're done, basically. Like, stop it. But if someone were to say, oh my goodness, you are cooking right now, or hold on just a second, let me cook, it's a good thing. It's kind of like, okay, you're on to something. Let us let you do your thing. So that is why I chose that name, because I will literally be cooking and doing all sorts of things with food and talking about it at the end of each episode. And I will metaphorically be cooking with all the ideas and weird crap I have swirling around in my brain all the time, okay? So listen, just let me cook. I really sometimes wish I could like swap brains with somebody. I know everybody probably says or thinks this, but there is for real 24/7 crap going on in my brain, okay? You think I talk a lot? Baby, this brain doesn't quit. It is constant from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. It's usually just like random internal dialogue, lots of songs. I'll tell y'all what, I have had one clip of this one song stuck in my head for, I don't even know how long. It's been over a decade, but do y'all remember that song? I think it's called Make Me Feel by Cobra Starship. Right, so the beginning of this song has been stuck in my head for years, and I always do it. It's almost like a tick at this point. I don't understand why it's been so long that it's been in my brain, but it's that part that goes la 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 la. I do it all the time, and I never even noticed that I was doing it until my best friend called me out for it, and she was like, why are you always doing that? Girl, I don't know. So yeah, I talk to myself constantly in my head, and I feel like it'd be interesting just to swap brains with somebody that doesn't have all that happening all the time. Especially just to get the person's reaction when they experience what it's like to have my brain, because I'll be so real with you. I don't think anyone else could handle this. I do like talk out loud to myself too. Like when I'm alone, I'll talk to myself all the time, just like this. Well, not quite like this. Mostly if I'm really by myself, it's just a bunch of sounds and getting really loud. I like to get loud to like hype myself up, and my dog. I do this a lot with our dog. His name's Louie. And whenever people leave our house, I always turn around to him, and it's just him and I. And I'll say, all right, Lou, you ready to get freaking weird, dude? And I always talk to him and sing to him. I do full-blown concerts for this dog. I know I probably get on his nerves a lot with that, but he's actually like a huge Taylor Swift fan. Every time I turn on Taylor Swift, he'll like get as close to the speakers as he can and just fall asleep. And I think that's really sweet. I think that's just precious. I remember one time I was out in the backyard with him, and I was home alone. I had been home alone, and I came back in the basement, and he gets really excited whenever I hype him up. And so I do this. Listen, y'all, don't judge me. I know you be talking to your pet weird too, okay? We all do it. This is a safe space. So whenever I want to hype him up, I do this thing where I'll say, is he a good boy? Yes, he is. Except, like, I'll repeat that over and over and over again, like, getting louder and louder and louder, because he gets so happy, and it's really cute to see. So that one day I came back in the basement, and I was doing that. I was just getting weird and hype with him and, like, tweaking out with this dog in the basement, probably for, like, 5 or 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, I heard footsteps upstairs. And it was in that moment that I realized my mother-in-law had come home and probably heard every word of that weird little love session with him. I've never mentioned that to her, but it always makes me chuckle when I think about it, because I'm sure she was concerned for my mental state. Some people don't have, like, internal dialogue. Some people can't even visualize, y'all. I just learned about this. Some people can't visualize. I think it's called, like, aphantasia or something. I don't know. Let me look this up. Hold on. Okay, listen. I'm on Wikipedia. I just looked up the word to see how to pronounce it, and listen to the voice. Hold on.
Aphantasia.
Aphantasia. Yeah, so listen, aphantasia apparently is like a different way that people's brains process information. So when I'm reading a book, like, okay, wait, when I read Twilight for the first time, I remember like visualizing the characters, visualizing what forks might look like, and it was before the movies ever came out, and so I remember having like that book solid in my head about what everyone looked like to me, what the town did. When that movie came out and everybody looked way different than what I had visualized, I said, what is this? But who am I to question genius? So anyway, yeah, I guess people with aphantasia can't do that. I don't know. I just find that really interesting. It's like really kind of crazy what the body and mind are capable of. And it's so individual to everybody. Like, I spend a lot of my free time looking up CIA declassified documents. Like, I'm obsessed with them. I think they're so interesting. And they have declassified documents teaching or talking about how they would teach people in the army how to astral project or like do remote viewing. I know a lot of people on Reddit and like the internet call it reality shifting. I think that's talking about the same kind of stuff, but listen, these documents are crazy. Look it up on Google right now. It's called the Gateway Intermediate Workbook, but it literally teaches you how to reach a certain level of consciousness to do different things. So, for example, part of it talks about how you can reduce pain signals in your body, like by repeating this certain number sequence after you do the whole exercise and get to the certain level of consciousness you're supposed to be at. You can reduce the pain in a certain part of your body by repeating a sequence of numbers. Isn't that like insane? Isn't that crazy? And then in another one of these, there's a whole thing about remote viewing. This one's called the Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process. And it is so interesting, y'all. I mean, no one else might care about this, but I find it fascinating. And it's from like the 70s originally. They've been doing this crap for a long time. It makes me so curious to know how much more they have found out since these original experiments and stuff. But it is just crazy to me that this is possible. Okay, so I'm looking at part of this analysis of the gateway process, and listen to what they wrote. Okay, it says, although the out-of-body state can apparently be achieved by many people without excessive expenditure of time or effort, the purposes to which it can be put are currently limited by the fact that although individuals in that state may travel anywhere on an instantaneous basis in either the terrestrial or in other spheres, information distortion in the former context remains a major concern. So it sounds like they haven't perfected it, at least as of 1977 when they wrote this, but it goes on to talk about how these people would remote view coast to coast in the United States and read off a sequence of numbers on a computer in a lab across the entire country and report back to them just through astral projection. Like, I just don't understand. That is wild, boy. that kind of stuff always kind of makes me go down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories and just like for kind of wondering if reality is real. And it always makes me, of course, think of like The Matrix, or The Truman Show. I'll tell y'all what, The Truman Show is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love Jim Carrey. He is such a legend, dude. I love seeing him in like more serious roles too. I feel like it's kind of underrated because everyone knows him as being hilarious, which he is, but he does so well in a serious role. I remember seeing Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind for the first time in 11th grade. I took a film appreciation class in 11th grade. And I'll tell you what, I became insufferable after taking that class because now I'll be sitting watching a movie with somebody and I can't help it. I'll have to point out how the lighting and the cinematography help further portray the story and blah, 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 blah. Like, girl, shut up. You took one elective class in a public school. You don't know nothing. That class did give me such a deeper love of movies, though. I love watching them, and The Truman Show, seriously, is still to this day one of my favorite movies ever. I remember seeing that for the first time when I was like, I think I was 7 or 8, which, to be honest with you, I think is a little too young for that movie. Not because it's inappropriate or anything, but the number it did on my psyche is crazy. Like, the Truman Effect had me in a choke hold for years, dude. I would be at home picking out like the cutest pajamas I owned going to bed so that just in case there was people watching or whatever, or just in case I was secretly the star of some show, I wanted to look cute. I'd literally be like pooping and tucking my hair behind my ear, trying to act all shy for the cameras, the non-existent cameras. Are you crazy? It was so dumb. It was ridiculous. I really did love that film class I took, though. I remember the teacher I had was amazing. She showed us some classics and some kind of, you could tell were her favorite movies and things that she thought were interesting to kind of dissect in that class. I remember seeing The Shining in that class for the first time, and it was just so good. Jack Nicholson is such a good actor too. I just love those movies. My mother and sister-in-law have mentioned how they have the shine, and I believe them too. They usually do. Like, if I'm not doing good, I'll usually get a text from one of them asking if I'm okay, even if I haven't mentioned anything about not being okay. And it'll be random too. Like I won't be doing anything out of the ordinary, and I'll get a text or a call, and they'll be like, okay, I'm getting a shine. Are you all right? And 9 times out of 10, they were onto something. I've also wondered if I've had it too. I've always been able to kind of know certain things were going to happen. It's never anything important. Like, if I could shine a winning lottery number, that'd be sick, but I can't. It's always like, okay, I know that this person is going to be at this place. They don't even like go here, but I know that I'm going to see them here, and I do. It's that kind of stuff. Or like, I can always tell when something really good's going to happen. I don't know why. I also, for some reason, always know when I'm going to see a bald eagle. I have been wrong a couple of times, but I see bald eagles a lot. And I always can tell, like, before it happens. I went to the beach a couple weeks ago just for a day trip with some friends of mine, and on the way down, I just started getting that shine. I started getting a weird feeling, and I was like, y'all, I have a feeling we're going to see 3 things today. And of course, they were all like, what? But I was like, I feel like I'm going to see a bald eagle. I think we're going to see something else that's crazy that we've never seen before, but I'm not really sure what that is. And I I think we're going to see dolphins, like not just one dolphin, but like a whole pod. And I can't explain to you why I thought those things. It's just intuition. It was just a feeling that I had. And God bless those girls. They were all just like, okay. I know they probably thought I was crazy. But get this. We saw a bald eagle. The crazy thing that happened was they had never been to this specific beach that we went to. So I started just like showing off while we were sitting on the beach and throwing fries at seagulls, and they all, gather around to get all the food that we had or whatever. And we were all having a great time. And after we were out of fries, we were kind of just sitting there watching the water. And all of a sudden I started hearing this like repetitive kind of weird squawk. It wasn't like a normal seagull squawk. And I was like, what the heck is that? And so we turned around and there were two seagulls going at it on the beach. I had never seen that in my life. Boy, it was kind of hard to watch, to be honest with you. It was a little aggressive. But that we did count as the crazy thing that we'd never guessed to see. And then, like 5 minutes after the seagull incident happened, a pod of freaking dolphins swam right in front of us, y'all. And it wasn't like, oh my gosh, squint your eyes and you can kind of see their dorsal fin in the distance. No, they were so close to the shore. I can't even believe that. I can't even believe that. By the end of the day, all my friends were like, okay, Katie's got something going on. Like, are you psychic? I was wondering if I was psychic. I could not believe I had guessed it. It did freak me out, though, that the dolphins were so close to shore. I hate a dolphin. I hate dolphins. Dolphins and sharks have been so mixed up because of, like, Hollywood and Jaws and stuff. Dolphins are the true enemy, okay? They are terrible people. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Did y'all know that whenever it's mating season, the men will isolate the female from her pod in what, and I'm not making this up, I looked it up, and they call it gangs. So the men will form a gang around a female and mate with her, and it's violent. It's awful. It's awful. They also apparently use other smaller sea creatures to like play volleyball. That's messed up. That is I'd be pissed off. Imagine being like a little baby. I read about a little baby shark. That happening to a baby shark. Imagine minding your own business, just trying to survive in the great wide ocean. And all of a sudden, these buttholes come up and start slapping you around. I can't imagine. Poor little sea creatures. They also do it with pufferfish, and they get high. I'm getting ahead of myself. So pufferfish excrete this chemical, I guess, that gets dolphins really high. And so the dolphins will bat a pufferfish around hard, like playing volleyball while getting high. Isn't that crazy? That is wild to me. I really hate that. The mating thing is sad. I really don't like that. Like, men of all species, what are you doing? That is terrible. Speaking of men and their interesting antics, to say the least, there have been some ads going around catering to men that I need to talk about, okay? Do y'all know what Dr. Squatch is and who Sydney Sweeney is? So Dr. Squatch is a soap and like body care company that mainly cater to men. And their whole thing has been like, it's manly to keep good hygiene. So they have decided to collab with Sydney Sweeney. Now, if you don't know who Sydney Sweeney is, she was on the show Euphoria. I think it was on HBO, and Zendaya, Hunter Schafer was on the show. And Sydney Sweeney blew up like almost overnight because in the show her character's wild. But she also had a few sex scenes and has really large boobs. So, of course, she has kind of unintentionally become like a sex symbol. But yeah, so Sydney and Dr. Squatch have teamed up, and the ads like started out, you know, kind of normal. I think they called her Sydney Sweeney the Squatch Genie or something, where like guys would be doing something and she would appear in front of them and give them soap and be like, it's so sexy to be clean or whatever. Which like, okay, that's fine. The bar is low, okay? And now I've seen that she has some ads where she's like soaking in a bathtub, and the first line she says is, hello, you dirty little boys. The bar's already so low. Can we not infantilize them further? I feel like that is just such regression. Okay, anyway, not the point of the story. Let me get back to my main point. So, I might be late to this. I don't know if y'all have heard about this, but apparently Sydney Sweeney and Dr. Squatch released a limited edition soap that includes an actual splash of Sydney Sweeney's bath water in it. Huh? I just find that so interesting. I want to make it clear, I'm not judging Sydney Sweeney or Dr. Squatch for this idea, okay? Get your bag. If people are desperate enough to buy something with a trace amount of your bathwater in it, go for it, girl. Get that money, honey. What I want to know is, what are the buyers doing? Why do they want this so bad? I don't get that. And it kind of freaks me out to think about the types of people who are getting this soap and what they may be doing with it, okay? It kind of really grosses me out to think about. I was talking to my mother-in-law about that, and she reminded me of Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle. Do y'all remember that? So Gwyneth Paltrow owns this company called Goop, and she made this candle. I think it was back in 2020. I think it's called like This Smells Like My Vagina, which Goop and then a vagina candle, something. Those two sentences put together is off-putting to me. But yeah, apparently she made a candle, and apparently it smells like her freaking vag, okay? I personally, why would you want that? Imagine burning that candle, having people over, and they're like, what is that smell? What is that? And you have to fess up and say you bought Gwyneth Paltrow's freaking Cooter candle. What the heck? I was looking it up because I got really curious about it. Guess how much this candle was sold for? From the website, okay? This wasn't like a resale situation. Guess how much? I'll let you think about it for a second. Nope. $75 freaking dollars. $75 for your house to smell like somebody's cooch. No. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look this up. I wonder if they're still selling it. Hold on, let me look this up. Okay, what the heck, dude? What? Okay. Sorry, I had to look it up, and I found a review for the candle, and I was gonna read the review. It's 3.2 stars, by the way, in case anyone was curious. But something else caught my eye, and I have to include it. Apparently, Elton John bought it in bulk. So I Googled it, and it says, according to the heretic perfumer Douglas Little, who, along with the Goop founder, created the viral votive. The 72-year-old music legend can't get enough of the scandalous scent. Quote, Elton John bought a ton of them. What? Sir Elton John is buying up the Cooter candle? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Why? Why is he doing that? For $75 a pop, too? What in the world? What in the world? I wonder if anybody's ever made a wiener candle. This smells like my sweaty nutsack. This smells like my swampy taint after eating a grilled chicken quesarito burrito from Taco Bell. This smells like my this smells like my greased up beehole after blowing up a gas station bathroom because I couldn't make it home in time. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Hold on. You know what I just thought of? You know how Elton John wrote Candle in the Wind? What if his Candle in the Wind song is about Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop vagina candle? Oh my goodness, I get a kick out of myself sometimes. I actually really love Elton John so much. My whole family does. We listen to him all the time, or we used to a lot. I've always been super into music. I'm still laughing about Candle in the Wind. Anyway, we grew up in like a very musical household. Every person in my family can either sing or they can play some sort of instrument. So, you know, we always did church talent shows and school talent shows. And, it's kind of funny because John will tease me sometimes, because he feels like I'm always saying, oh, hey, I sang this in a talent show. And he'll always be like, Katie, you sang every song in a talent show. What song didn't you sing in a talent show? I used to do it a lot. I loved doing it too. That just kind of goes back to the lengths I'll go to for some attention. I didn't care that I couldn't really sing. I got up there and did it, boy. Kind of wild that I used to do all that, but I've always been too scared to do karaoke in front of people. That doesn't make any sense. And it's never sober karaoke. No one does karaoke sober. So, like, I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I've always stopped myself. I get way too nervous. I always get, like, really paranoid that there's going to be some sort of talent scout in the crowd. And I'll just blow my one opportunity to somehow get noticed. I've been listening to a lot of Cowboy Carter lately. I am obsessed with that album. I totally think it deserved Album of the Year. I think she deserved all of the awards, all the Grammys. She killed that album. My favorite right now off of the album, because it does change, okay? It does change. But right now, my favorite is American Requiem. It is so good. I've also been listening to a lot of Cake. I love me some Cake. But my brother actually put me on to this band. They're a country band, but they're called Rattlesnake Milk. They are excellent, dude. And it's, okay, listen, I know you heard country and you immediately dismissed this. No. It isn't the I love my beer and I love to have sex with my truck type country. No, it's not like that. It is genuinely just such good music. It really is. I highly recommend their album Rattlesnake Milk, or their album, I think it's Chicken Fried Snake or something like that. Country Fried Snake? I don't know. Look it up. Super good. Their song Midnight Train, I've been listening to that a lot. Eloise, I've been listening to a lot. They are great. They are so good. And I feel like it's hard to find music like that now. You know what? Speaking of country, I have always really liked some Brooks and Dunn, okay? I know my southern people are going to know what I'm talking about. My brother got a CD I think our uncle gave it to him for like Christmas or something one year. I think it was 2005, 2006, Brooks and Dunn CD, and we have always loved them. Now, I don't always listen to them like for serious, because they have this one song that goes, never mind, I'm not going to sing it for you, but look up Hillbilly Deluxe and you'll know kind of the vibe I'm talking about. It's just like classic redneck country, okay? It is hilarious. But they actually do have some bangers, like Neon Moon. That's a great song. Get into it. We also used to listen to Live Like You Were Dying by Tim McGraw all the time. And I'll never forget, actually, so weird that I was just talking about talent shows. It was the first... No, it wasn't the first. It was one of the first talent shows I ever did. I didn't sing Tim McGraw. I sang some different song. But after we got home, for some reason, we were talking about singing Live Like You Were Dying. Like, maybe we should have sang that or something like that. And me and my brother and my parents were all sitting in the kitchen. And they said, do you know all the words to Live Like You Were Dying? I was probably like 6 at the time. And I said, oh, yeah. And my brother also said he knew all the words. And so a cappella, we just performed Live Like You Were Dying for my parents in our kitchen. And it was so cute looking back on it. It's just kind of random and funny that we did that. Another one I've really been liking, and it's kind of older, is called I Hate Giving You Everything by, I think, Arlissa. I could be saying that wrong, but when you just need to get something off your chest, that is a great one to belt out, okay? Besides like listening to new music or getting back into older music and stuff, I've been trying to keep myself busy with hobbies, because just with working a 9-to-5 like I do, and with everything, going on in the world, I'm realizing how important it is to protect your hobbies and keep yourself busy with something other than technology. I remember a few years ago, I think it was like maybe mid-2020, maybe 2021, I was sitting at home and my husband was at work, and I realized, dang, all I do is work and then come home and doom scroll. Like it just kind of hit me this day that I really didn't have many hobbies. I knew I had hobbies, but I wasn't doing them. And it had been so long since I just turned my phone off, turned the TV off, turned music off, and like sat with myself with nothing interfering, not even music. And I did it that day. I did it for a couple hours, and after like 30 minutes, I broke down crying. Because I had finally like allowed myself to take a look at myself. And it was a lot. It can be a lot, especially, if there's things that you want to change about yourself or your life. It can be hard to face that. I get it. Of all people, I get it. And so throughout the years, I've been, trying to introspect and work on myself and try new things and do hobbies that don't involve social media or doom scrolling or technology all the time. It's so important to put your hands on something and do something with your body or do something with your mind that's challenging. And the older I get, the more I'm realizing how important that is. It's just insane to watch what a habit our technology has become for everybody. Like, I feel like a lot of people like to look at Gen Z or Gen Alpha and point fingers and say, y'all are always on your phone, y'all are always on social media doing blah, blah, blah. It's not just the younger generations anymore. Like, our grandparents are addicted to their phones. They're addicted to it. Whether or not they're reading the news or whatever they're doing on there, they are addicted as well. It's like, it's crazy. People need a constant drip feed of information because they have such a fear of missing out on something. It's sucking our souls like Dementors from Harry Potter, okay? It's crazy what a sickness it is. I took like a really long social media break this year. I deleted everything in January, and I only just re-downloaded TikTok, but I really only use that to post stuff. I don't really scroll. I don't scroll because I know what a slippery slope it is, and I had to take a step back. It had me in such a chokehold, and I just realized there was so much more to life, and there's so much negative that comes from it, in my opinion. I mean, of course, everybody knows there are a lot of positives too. I get that. But there's just a lot of bad news. There's a lot of bad news and a lot of bad influences on social media. And you got to take a break every once in a while and get out there and touch some grass, okay? It's crazy what's going on. It just really forced me to just take a look at what I do every day. And it forced me to ask myself if I was actually happy with what I was doing with my life. If what I was doing every day was making me feel like a fulfilled human being. And I wasn't, girl. I wasn't. Like, and I'm not judging people for having social media or for playing on their phones all the time. I get it, girl. I'm not judging you, okay? This is a safe space. You can tell me. I won't judge you. I'm just saying, don't shy away from introspecting and asking yourself what you like. Asking yourself, are you happy? It is hard. It is hard, okay? Whenever I first deleted my social media, I was kind of lost. I didn't know what to do with myself. That's a huge part of why I started playing Donkey Kong. Because it was something other than social media to do. And it was a bit of a challenge. But I also, I love painting. I started painting. I obviously love cooking. I started cooking and baking a lot more. Ooh, actually, during that break, I discovered the most amazing focaccia recipe ever. Maybe not ever, but the best same-day focaccia recipe I have ever encountered, all right? Hold on, let me put y'all onto this. I'll try and find the recipe, and then I'll put it in the description box. I don't think I have the link to it, but I can at least write it down for y'all if you want to try it. I make this focaccia. I think all in all takes like maybe 4.5 hours or something, which if you know about making bread, you know that's fast. Usually you can't make a bread or a focaccia, especially in one day like that, and have it be good. This one's good, all right? So, I make the dough, and then once I'm about to put it in the oven, like before you poke the holes with your fingers or whatever, I put some fresh, very finely minced garlic all over it, some salt, olive oil, of course, and then I really like the shaved Parmesan that you can get from the store. Honey, that crap is good. I had to stop making it, to be honest with you. I haven't made it in a while because it got to the point where we were straight up eating a loaf of bread in under a day. It was starting to get a little bit scary. That was a slippery slope. Okay, this might be a bit of a hot take, so don't get mad at me. Don't. Listen, this is just my opinion. This is just my humble opinion, all right? But around where I live, it is of my personal opinion that there's not really any decent wings. There's not. No, there isn't. And if you think there are around Baltimore, you better leave a comment so I can educate myself, okay? I'm very open to learning. I would love to learn more about that. So, since I have been disappointed with the wings around where I'm at, I decided to make my own. And I came across a Gordon Ramsay video that is foolproof, y'all. It is so easy. It was only like a 6-minute video or so, and the wings I think usually only take me about 25 minutes to do, and for 15 of those minutes you don't even have to touch them, okay? It is so easy, and they are so good. So good, okay? I did not follow his recipe. I just followed his technique because, you know, I wanted that honey old buddy, okay? So get on this wing recipe or wing technique. I'll drop it in the description box, but it's dummy proof. Those wings are juicy, but like perfectly crispy on the outside. Oh my word, my mouth is salivating just thinking about that. So for the actual sauce recipe, I kind of just winged it, no pun intended. I did hot sauce, which I usually just kind of use what I have in my fridge. I'm a big hot sauce girl, so I'll have anything from like Cholula to Valentina to Frank's. And for the wings, I do kind of prefer to just do original Frank's hot sauce and then some honey and some Old Bay to taste. So I'll do like a third cup of the hot sauce for about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of wings, and then add the honey and Old Bay and all that. And after the wings are done cooking, the way Gordon's gonna teach you, toss them in that sauce. You will not regret it. That it is so delicious. It truly, truly is. And if you do end up trying that recipe, you better let me know how it goes. And if they end up not tasting good or being dry, that is all your fault. I'm sorry, it's your fault. He's telling you step by step how to do it. So if it's messed up, that's all on you, darling. That's all I'm saying. I have been wanting to try that technique with lemon pepper though, but like I'm not a huge fan of the lemon pepper that comes out of a can or a jar. I find that to be very like sour. I'm not talking that kind. I'm talking fresh garlic, baby. I'm talking butter. I'm talking fresh squeezed lemon, and I'm talking fresh cracked black pepper, okay? With some finely grated Parmesan up in it. Come on now. I know you'd slurp that up. I would too. I'd make myself sick on those. I could eat a whole plate of those. End up eating so much, I'd have a lemon pepper ring around my mouth. Well, y'all, I think it's about time for me to hop off of here. I have been gibbing and gabbing for a long time. Let me know if you end up trying that wing recipe. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to talk about. Any topics. I'm pretty open. I could talk about anything for an extended amount of time. So you just say the word, bird. All right. Well, I love you. Take it easy now, okay? All right. All right, you too. All right, love you. Bye-bye.